Bigfoot, dogman, ghosts, I ain't gonna lie. When it comes to those encounters, I'm that guy. Ain't no one more paranormal than me. Paranormal as fuck, they all try to be. Paranormal dick measurement contest. Mine spoke with Bigfoot, being totally honest. Paranormal dick measurement contest. I'm paranormal as fuck, no need to be modest. I eat ghosts and shadow people for breakfast, getting abducted by aliens to excess. Posers chatting about Bigfoot on the YouTube. Only met Dogman twice, damn, such a noob. Paranormal dick measuring contest. Mine spoke with Bigfoot, being totally honest. Paranormal dick measuring contest. I'm paranormal as fuck, no need to be modest. Got the biggest dick in all the paranormal. Only seen Bigfoot once. Shit, you a mere mortal. I once beat up a freaking Mothman, ain't no lie. Doing CE5s with raised jaws. I'm that guy.
Hey everybody, good evening. I hope everyone can hear and see me okay. 5-5 into chat if you can. But yes, my name is Donnie Cho, and welcome to my show. It's called Donnie Cho Says Stuff, where tonight I will be your host. And I would like to thank all of you for joining me tonight. Tonight is a very special treat. Well, the first thing is that, as you may have noticed, that intro song that I played just now was actually from an episode a few weeks ago I did with my good friend, Randy Gilbert, who also happens to be gracing us with his presence in the chat. There he is. So yeah, a few weeks ago we did an episode called The Paranormal Dick Measuring Contest. And if you want to go back and watch that later, you can. I thought it was a very good episode. I was particularly happy with it. And in that episode, Randy and we discussed how a lot of people in this paranormal cryptid community, and when I mean people, I'm talking generally, including the people in the chat rooms and people who come on these shows as guests and hosts and content creators, and in a lot of cases, content consumers, just people in general. The people in general in this paranormal field often treat paranormal experiences and encounters as if it was like some kind of scorecard where they would come on these shows and compare it, and almost as if they were bragging about how many experiences they had, where at the end of the day this whole thing turned into a giant dick measuring contest for who had the most paranormal stuff going on. And Randy and I discussed it, and in doing so, in the course of that episode, we came to the conclusion, we found who I guess would be safe to say was the champion of this pseudo contest that happens to be going on in the paranormal and cryptid community. The champion of the paranormal dick measuring contest. And that person, we came to realize, his moniker was the biggest dick in the paranormal. And his name happens to be Dick. It was none other than Richard Nixon, a former president. And Richard Nixon, Mr. Nixon, he was the champion because out of all of the people who experienced paranormal and cryptid stuff, he had the most. He had the most Bigfoot encounters. He had the most Dogman encounters. Everything was just like ghosts barely even registered for this man, because he was indeed the biggest dick in the paranormal. And it was pretty amazing. He did get to show up and engage with me and my good friend Randy. We did talk to him a bit, but there wasn't enough of him, especially him being the grand champion of the paranormal dick measuring contest. I felt like tonight we need to get a little bit more, peer into the mind of Mr. Richard Nixon, the champion of the paranormal dick measuring contest. So tonight I've prepared a very special episode where I, Donnie Cho, your host of Donnie Cho Says Stuff, has been fortunate enough to book Mr. Richard Nixon, the biggest dick in the paranormal, for an interview. And I would like to bring him on to the show tonight and have him, let's just see what he has to say. So without further ado, Mr. Nixon, if you would like to just introduce yourself and say hi to the folks in the chat. The floor is yours.
Hello and good evening to you, Donnie Cho. And to all the fine people in the chat, I bid you greetings tonight. Normally, it's proper decorum to thank the host whenever one is invited back on a show. But in this case, I will say you're welcome, because of course you should be the one thanking me. After all, you only have 438 subscribers thus far. Those are some pathetic fucking numbers. So the way I see it, I'm doing you a favor, Donnie Cho, by showing up here tonight as the biggest dick in the paranormal and cryptid community. So, you're fucking welcome. I mean, I had more encounters and more meaningful experiences with paranormal shit than anyone else in this field. Everyone in the paranormal and cryptid community should be sucking my dick right now. And here I am on a show that can't even break 500 subs. I need to fire my fucking agent. I mean, I should at the very least have my own cable show like Zach Baggins or that Giorgio guy with the fucked up hair. Talking about ghosts or aliens and shit. I have to show up on some shifty Oriental guy's channel that's got less than 500 subs. So what is it, Donnie Cho? What is it you want? Go ahead and ask your questions. Let's get this bullshit over with. Because immediately after this interview, I'm going to call up my agent, Fred, and I'm going to fire his Jewish ass. That motherfucker needs to go. Wasted my goddamn time.
Thank you, Mr. Nixon, and it is an honor to have you here on my show. I do apologize that my show isn't quite up to your expectations, at least for the fact that, you are the biggest dick in the paranormal, and yes, it is true that I don't even have 500 subs. Thank you for reminding me of that, Mr. Nixon. I do try to make a good show as possible. Sometimes it's just a little bit hard to break through to different audiences, and I apologize that you have to come down to this level. And I acknowledge that. But I am extremely grateful that you are here tonight, and I do thank you. And I appreciate you being here. So, with that being said, last time, Mr. Nixon, we did talk about how you did have so many of these experiences, and we did get a little bit of insight into your views on cryptids, Bigfoot, Dogman, UFOs, and ghosts. But I think tonight I wanted to shift the conversation in a little bit of a different direction. I wanted to pick your brains, sir, on what your thoughts on the paranormal and cryptid community at large are. I would just kind of want to, I just am very curious of your interpretation of the community itself. So yeah, if you could just share some of your insights on that, sir, it would be greatly appreciated.
Oh, you want to talk about the cryptid in the paranormal community? Okay, we can do that. I mean, I figured I could pretty much say whatever the fuck I want, considering this is some bullshit show with nobody watching. At the end of the day, the paranormal and cryptid community is just a collection of a bunch of grown-ass adults who sit around and talk about monsters and shit all day. I get it, it's fun for the first couple of times, but after a while you wind up having the same conversations over and over again. I actually think it's fucking hilarious that some of these folks call themselves researchers when all they do is prance around some location on the weekend just to not find Bigfoot. And when they go home, they're high-fiving each other because they think they may have gotten a whiff of Bigfoot's fart. Meanwhile, I can't get Bigfoot to leave me the fuck alone cause he's always hanging out outside my bedroom window. I see that hairy motherfucker at least 6 times a day. That shit's annoying.
Oh, wow. I would imagine if you saw him that often, it would get annoying. Oh man, I didn't realize you thought so low of us. That doesn't feel real good. And to the folks listening at home, I do apologize. I didn't think Mr. Nixon would be denigrating some of the fine people in the paranormal and cryptid community. That's not where I was expecting this conversation to go. I consider myself a member of this community, and I take a lot of that kind of stuff to heart. But yeah, I mean, as the biggest dick in the paranormal, I do really want to find out. So, Mr. Nixon, like, okay, so there's a lot of people out there with their own shows where it's basically just talking about Bigfoot or Dogman or UFOs. I consider myself one of those content creators, albeit, I mean, I understand, you said that my show has less than 500 subs. I get it. There's a pecking order, and I'm on the bottom rung of that ladder. I don't forget that. I understand my place. But please, Mr. Nixon, if you could just share your thoughts on some of these YouTube, like cryptid paranormal content creators and shows, like, yeah, what are some? If you could just share some of your thoughts, please, sir.
So what do I think of all of these paranormal and cryptid YouTube talk shows and podcasts? I guess some of them are okay, but then you got a bunch of others that are just a complete waste of fucking time. You got these so-called researchers, these weekend fucking warriors, who go on these shows and talk about the same shit over and over again. The same fucking questions and the same fucking answers, over and over and over again. It's enough to drive someone up the wall. Is Bigfoot flesh and blood, or is he supernatural? Is Dogman a werewolf? It's literally the same shit, but a different day. To me, these YouTube podcast hosts are nothing more than a bunch of clout chasers seeking respect in a field where a bunch of grown-ass adults sit around and talk about monsters all day. That's like aspiring to be the most respected pro wrestling fan. I mean, half of them, all they do is just gaslight and virtue signal to a chat room full of halfwits and rednecks. I guess in the land of the morons, the least retarded one is king. It's all a bunch of fucking horse shit.
Oh, wow. Oh, Mr. Nixon, that was kind of harsh. Some of these people I am personally a fan of. Like, I listen to these shows very regularly, and I do enjoy their content and their personalities. Not to mention that some of these people I actually know very personally, so that one kind of stung a bit, sir. Damn, I didn't think he was going to trash us this bad. I'm sorry, guys, because I know we're all part of this community together. Man, I mean, you were just calling everyone a bunch of gaslighters and a bunch of virtue signalers. I know that my show is going to be a little bit different. I know, like, yeah, I do like to talk about Bigfoot and Dogman sometimes, but my show, I do go for a different thing, Mr. Nixon. Would you, I don't know, like, would you consider me in that same category as well? If you don't mind sharing that, like, what are your thoughts about me and this show?
You, Donnie Cho, you're worse than the lot of them combined. You've been doing this show for about 2 years now, and you still have fewer than 500 subs. That's actually fucking pathetic. It makes sense, though, if you think about it deeply. The majority of the people who listen to these kinds of cryptid and paranormal shows live in these bumblefuck states that nobody actually gives a shit about. Why would any of those people in their right minds want to spend their Saturday nights listening to some weird Oriental guy going on and on about Bigfoot's penis? Or listen to him talk about that weird Oriental music that you listen to? It's no wonder you have fewer than 500 subs. At least those other so-called Bigfoot researchers maintain some sort of modicum of respectability. You, Donnie Cho, just produce filth. I mean, I honestly feel dumber whenever I watch your show. You can't even pretend this show isn't garbage.
Oh man. Oh. I mean, yeah, I get it. I have less than 500 views. I understand, sir. I've been doing this I've been doing this for 2 years. So yeah, I get it. I've less than 500 subs. It's pretty pathetic. I understand. And yeah, if you think my show is garbage, I completely understand. There is a lot of lowbrow humor. It's just kind of raunchy and ridiculous. I'm nowhere near being monetized. I've been doing this for 2 years. I'm still not making a dime off this. I even tried to start my own religion to exploit some IRS tax loophole. That hasn't really been working. So I reluctantly understand what you're saying, sir.
But hey, you're not completely worthless, Donnie Cho. At least you're not one of these fake Christians who infest the chat rooms and YouTube videos of the paranormal cryptid community. Those people are the absolute fucking worst. They go around claiming that they believe in Jesus and telling everyone that all you need to do to protect yourself against ghosts is to call upon the name of Jesus. These people will even claim that calling upon Jesus will drive Bigfoot and Dogman away. Like that'll really fucking work. Meanwhile, they do less than the bare fucking minimum to actually be a Christian in their own daily lives. And they're so quick to look down on people who go to church as fake Christians, which is fucking hilarious to me. Because these people can't even be bothered to take their fat asses off their couch to even attend church. And yet they go around in their little YouTube shows and chat rooms telling everyone that they are believers in Jesus just so they could gain a little bit of clout. If that's not virtue signaling, I don't know what the fuck is. I swear to you, I see people pretend to be this holy-ass motherfucker claiming that they are believers of Jesus. But then you take one casual look at how they live their lives. And they live like total fucking scumbags. Every time I see that, I vomit a little in my mouth. You Donnie Cho are at least not so pretentious to pretend to be some holier than thou fucking Christian. This whole paranormal community is the biggest collection of fake-ass Christians I've ever seen. It's the one reason why I want to drop a nuke on this entire fucking community. That being said, your show still sucks, Donnie. Never fucking forget that.
I understand, sir. My show sucks. It will never be lost on me. Thank you for reminding me. And yeah, I do agree. I've never called myself a Christian, except for that one time where I briefly converted to Christianity to try to get views. It didn't really work. Jason came on and he kind of shut that whole thing down. But yeah, the one thing I did notice is that there are a lot of people who talk about that, who's mentioned that they like believe in Jesus and you got to call upon the name of Jesus. And meanwhile, these people, they don't attend church at all. They don't do anything in their lives to even try to be a Christian actively or proactively. And meanwhile, they're just talking all this talk on these in chat rooms and YouTube shows. I understand that. And it is pretty gross because a lot of these people I've noticed are just using the Bible and Christianity for clout chasing, for virtue points. And I'm grateful to you, Mr. Nixon, for pointing that out, because that is something that people do need to pay attention to. And yes, once again, thank you for reminding me, sir, that my show does suck. I will never forget that, sir. Thank you. Was there anything else about I don't know, about the scene that bothers you, or was there anything else that you picked up on that you may find annoying, or anything that you may have noticed?
I'll tell you something that really grinds my gears, motherfuckers who don't know the difference between saw and seen. For example, I seen a Bigfoot last year. I seen a Bigfoot last year? Are you kidding me? Holy fucking shit. These people must be absolutely retarded. Are they too fucking stupid to know what the past tense of the verb to see is? There are so many of these motherfuckers in these YouTube shows and in the chats who don't know how to conjugate a verb in their own fucking language. I see it all the time, and frankly, it's making me lose faith in the American education system. Like I would understand if that person were speaking English as their second language. In those cases, mistakes like that are forgivable and understandable. But I see so many of these redneck motherfuckers who don't even know the fucking difference between saw and seen. Like legitimately don't know the difference. Am I expected to think that these people are not absolutely fucking retarded? I don't get it. And whenever these people say, I seen a Bigfoot, I can't take them seriously as a reasonably intelligent person. When you go around claiming you saw a Bigfoot, you better have your credibility ducks in a fucking row. Because if you're too fucking stupid to know the difference between saw and seen, people aren't going to take your ass seriously. They're going to think I've got a retarded person telling me some bullshit right now. I mean, for Christ's sake, these people speak only one fucking language, which if you think about it is pretty fucking stupid in and of itself. For them, English is their native language, and yet they're too fucking stupid to know what the past tense of the verb to see is. Donnie, I know you were an English teacher for like 10 years in Korea. Explain to the folks listening at home what the difference is between saw and seen. Let's settle this so that there's no confusion.
Gosh, that's really mean. I mean, some that's just sometimes that's just like a local colloquialism that people have. And not everyone has to have perfect English grammar every time they speak. I mean, that's just normal of most Americans nowadays. I kind of resent that observation, sir. But all right, I mean, if you were asking, yes, it is true that I did teach English as a second language for 10 years when I was living in Korea. I mostly taught like business people, college students, and and my specialty was English grammar. But I mean, fine, I'll explain it. Here we go. So, seen is the past participle of the verb to see, and then saw is the simple past tense. So when you have a past participle seen, right? Participles also include like been, done, gotten, those kinds of things. Most verbs are the same with past participle and past tense. But past participles you would use in two separate situations. One would be in the perfect tense, like past perfect and present perfect. Have done, have seen, or had seen. Or the other function of the past participle is when you're taking the verb and then you're using it grammatically to function as an adjective in your sentence, meaning that you're modifying it with another verb. For example, like is seen or was seen, right? You have a verb to be, is, and then you're using seen in that situation as if you would be using an adjective. That would be the function of the past participle seen. So for the present perfect tense, that's usually when you make general statements or broad statements about the past. Like, for example, I have seen Star Trek or Star Wars, The Return of the Jedi 100 times. All right. Not to be confused with the simple past tense saw when you're referring to a specific point in the past. Like if you say last year, I saw. All right. Or I saw a Bigfoot last week, right? You are giving it specific moments or specific time periods in the past. So a lot of times when these people say when they talk about their Bigfoot experiences and they refer to something like last year, you're going to say I saw and not I seen. That would be the proper usage or the distinction between saw and seen.
And the fact that you have to actually explain this to people is frankly fucking embarrassing.
I mean, I get it. It's bad English, but a lot of these people, again, they have their own local colloquialisms. They have, people are used to speaking the way that other people around them speak. So they can't help it if someone's from some part of the country, like more rural parts of the country, where the locals there or the people around them in that environment, they don't adhere to those rules. And then it just becomes part of the common vernacular, the common colloquialisms. It's just naturally what it is.
No, Donnie Cho. Get the fuck out of here with that colloquialism bullshit. You're just allowing these dumb morons to use their state of origin as an excuse for their stupidity. Colloquialisms make sense for vernacular, sayings, and idioms. Just because you're from some bumblefuck state like Alabama doesn't mean it's okay for you to suddenly start butchering your language without people realizing that you're a total fucking dumbass. It's so typical of folks this day and age offering up excuses for mediocrity. Fuck that. If you're going to go around telling me that you saw a Bigfoot or a ghost, don't talk like a fucking retard. Seriously, you can take that colloquialism bullshit and shove it up your ass.
I mean, that's not fair, Mr. Nixon. That's not cool. Yeah, there are people, people in every state, they will butcher the English language in their own way, but that's not just an American thing or an education thing. There's plenty of people in Korea when I was living there that were from the countryside, maybe not quite as educated, and they would make mistakes too in the English language. And there's plenty of people who are going to butcher English in their own way. They don't necessarily have to be from like the South or the rural parts of America. That's highly unfair, and it's kind of a dick move to just accuse these one particular group of people. Also, you have to consider that, yeah, the majority of people who have Bigfoot experiences are going to be from a specific part of the country. They're going to represent a specific socioeconomic group, and they can't help that. And besides, okay, Mr. Nixon, living in Korea for 10 years as an English teacher, I've seen people butcher the English language way harder and in way more embarrassing fashion. As a matter of fact, I can show you an example right now. Would you like to see it?
Okay, Donnie Cho, let's fucking see it. Show me.
All right, let's get it set up. I'll get it set up here for you. Hold on, let me set up the share screen. I'll show you what I mean, sir. This situation is actually kind of worse because this lady is an English teacher in Korea. Her job was to educate people online, like large groups of people, about the English language as a second language. And yeah, this is way more embarrassing, especially because she's a teacher, and especially because she is responsible for their English education. Here, let me show you. Okay, so this lady is talking about, these are simple phrases. Please give me cigarette, which is also incorrect. It's got to be give me a cigarette. She forgot the indefinite article a. Or please give me Coke, like Coca-Cola. And yeah, just watch how this one goes.
Coke. Do you have Coke? And ask them the price of Coke. Cola, cola, cola. But it was not cola, it was Coke. Remember Coke? And what's Coke? Cola. It's not Coke in Korean. Cola. Good. So Coke. Do you have Coke? And they said yes. Please give me Coke. Oh, please give me Coke. I want a Coke. Coke. It's Coke. It was Coke. It's Coke actually, right? So Coke is cola. Cola. Simple. Please give me Coke.
Hold on, let me fix this screen. Got all retarded. Sorry about that. So, I don't know, Mr. Nixon. What did you think?
Man, somebody got this lady a cock and stat. She seems to be in real need of some cock right now. And on an airplane, no less.
Yeah, well, the Korean word for Coca-Cola, Koreans do say cola. But yeah, you can't really order that in America like that. So yeah, she was just teaching her students that you have to really say Coke, because you can't use the Korean word cola. So that was the point of her lesson.
So, Donnie, I've got to ask now, do you like cock? And if so, which do you prefer? Regular cock, diet cock, or cock zero?
I mean, I don't particularly drink soda very much. Most of what I drink throughout the course of my day is going to be like I have my coffee in the morning, and then throughout, like when I'm working, during most of the day, I just drink ice water, really. I try to avoid sweet drinks. I'm not a real big fan of sweets. And then, on the weekends, I'll have some beer. But those are really the only three things I really drink. I'm not a big Coca-Cola drinker. I don't drink soda. Occasionally, I may have a Sprite. But the only time I'll ever have Coke would be if I'm out at a bar and I'll order a Jack and Coke or a rum and Coke. Those are the only instances where I actually order a Coke.
How about your little buddy there, Jason McLean? Is he a fan of the cock? I bet he's got a cock in his hand right now, as a matter of fact.
I mean, we've gone to Whataburger a few times. And yeah, we'll get the Whataburger, and I'm pretty sure he orders a Coke for his drink. It's funny you should mention that because, Jason's often, Jason lives in Texas, so he's often telling me that I have to try the Mexican, the Coca-Cola they sell in Mexico, because apparently it's like way different. He keeps telling me it's like way more delicious, because apparently over in Mexico, when you get a Coke, it's all in the glass bottles, which retains the flavor a lot better. And apparently they use actual cane sugar, not that hyper processed crap that they sell in the US version. But yeah, they say that the Coca-Cola in Mexico is actually way more refreshing. And Never says, yeah, Costco sells Mexican Coke. I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to try it out because Jason keeps telling me like he loves that stuff. Yeah, they use sugar instead of corn syrup, is what Boondock Mojo says. Yeah.
I bet you he does. I bet he just can't get enough of that Mexican cock.
Yeah, he really loves the Mexican version of that drink. Yeah, it's safe to say he talks about it all the time. He's always recommending it to me. So yeah, tonight's a short one, folks. I hope you enjoyed my little conversation with Mr. Richard Nixon here, the biggest dick in the paranormal. But before I let you guys go, so Mr. Nixon, did you have any final words for the people listening at home? Because I feel like you've kind of been trashing us, the people in the community, the people in the chat room, and some of these YouTubers. I don't know, maybe try to leave on a nice note, maybe, if you could, or if you would, please.
Final words. Sure, okay, at the end of the day, if this is what you're into, monsters and ghosts and shit, then you do you. Have fun with it, and meet some cool people along the way. Just don't be a fucking retard. Because at some point, we all have to look in the mirror and tell ourselves that we are grown-ass adults. And all this paranormal shit, all this ghost and alien shit is just another form of fandom. Just remember that we're no better or worse than anime fans, pro wrestling fans, or comic book fans. You people are all just a bunch of fucking nerds, and that's okay, as long as you own it and don't act all retarded about it. It's all good.
Yeah, I think that's a good perspective to have. At the end of the day, we as Bigfoot, Dogman, UFO people, we're not really all that different from like hardcore pro wrestling fans or people who cosplay in anime conventions. At the end of the day, we're grown-ass adults who kind of lose ourselves in our fandoms, in this world that we throw ourselves into, where we meet this community of people in the chats and on these shows. And we network and we find like-minded adults who we could share our common interests in and build friendships in. So, yeah, I think that's real cool that you would kind of frame this whole thing in that way.
Are we finished here? Holy shit, that was rough to sit through. I can't believe I had to waste my time with this lowbrow, small fries fucking show. I really need to fire that fucking agent of mine. I mean, he couldn't even book me on Space Out Radio. What kind of bullshit is this?
I'm sorry, Mr. Nixon, this is not Spaced Out Radio. That show would be much more worthy of someone of your stature. And I do apologize that me being less than 500 subs, it's not really worthy of someone of your magnitude. I apologize.
I got to spend my Saturday night talking to some Oriental weirdo who's got this weird obsession with cocks. Man, fuck this guy.
Bigfoot, Dogman, ghosts, I ain't gonna lie. When it comes to those encounters, I'm that guy. Ain't no one more paranormal than me. Paranormal as fuck, they all try to be. Paranormal dick measurement contest. Mine spoke with Bigfoot, being totally honest. Paranormal dick measurement contest. I'm paranormal as fuck, no need to be modest. I eat ghosts and shadow people for breakfast, getting abducted by aliens to excess. Posers chatting about Bigfoot on the YouTube. Only met Dogman twice, damn, such a noob. Paranormal dick measuring contest. Mine spoke with Bigfoot, being totally honest. Paranormal dick measuring contest. I'm paranormal as fuck, no need to be modest. Got the biggest dick in all the paranormal. Only seen Bigfoot once. Shit. You a mere mortal. I once beat up a freaking Mothman, ain't no lie. Doing CE5s with Ray Jaws. I'm that guy.